Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and with AMD launching the 7600 and NVIDIA launching the 4060 Ti and announcing and putting the price out for the 4060, is this something that we should even consider? Is this something that we should kind of pay attention to at this time? And the quick answer right off the top is no, let's wait. I think you have a great option to look at used markets and to be able to pick up an older card, even overclock that older card to get the performance that you want out of these newer ones at a better cost. And I think that's where some of these costs come in. I was taking a look at some of the numbers that everyone was having out between Hardware Unbox, Gamers Nexus, and different review sites. I took quite a few of all of them, and sorry to leave you guys out, but the overall thing is what I get where NVIDIA is coming from, because NVIDIA has the stance of you're paying for our product, I don't care what you think. So that's NVIDIA's stance, and so they're going to price it where they want it. AMD, I don't understand. It's like they need a new marketing team at this point. I have been on this for a while. As much as I don't like heads to roll, um, to get change over here, I don't know if AMD marketing side of their graphics has the capacity to fix itself at this point. We've seen this too many times. Um, they don't reach out to people to give them a logical standpoint, and that's probably a problem. They're in an echo chamber at this point, and they just want to do whatever they want. They have no concept of trying to take market share or anything like that at this point. Well, why do I say that? Because they haven't done it in the past couple years with a good product stance, and it comes down to the pricing, a lot of it. So let's dive in here. I'm going to switch over, and we're going to actually start with the 7600 and talk about that. One thing I do want to kind of put up here first is, remember, AMD, and jumping into this, AMD was, talking about VRAM. What was it, like a month and a half ago? Saying, yeah, this VRAM, everybody runs out. And what do? They release a card with 8 gigs of VRAM. It's like AMD is so tone deaf, they can't even forward think a month and a half to be able to see that they're going to be eating their own words based upon what they said. That's unfathomable to me. I don't get why they keep doing this, but they've done it before, and it's just annoying. And in all these cards, right? The 7600 is $279, so, or 270, someplace in there. So these are $200 cards, right? And you can talk about inflation, everything else, right? We go that. But overall, what happens is technology advances, technology has dropped in price over the lifespan. I was talking to a friend about this. And over the lifespan, the technology has dropped in price. So we have a RX 480 4 gig, was $199 at launch. That was a 1080p card. They also had an 8 gig for, let's say, $250. So now both NVIDIA and AMD are now advertising this new generation, this 76 and the 4060. Let's just do 4060, which is $300. So now that's 270 and 300 respectively, and these cards are going to be 1080p cards, not that much faster than prior gen, and we have gone from, let's just say 250, same 8 gigs, right, of a 480 to, and that was what, 8 years ago or something now, to $300, 270 to $300. So we have increased in price, and usually as technology gets better, it does decrease in price. So even with inflation, because inflation has happened over the years as well. So it's kind of not, they were selling for 1080p back then, and they're still selling for 1080p now. Yeah, you drop down a class of card, but yeah, after 8 years, it's very disappointing. So yeah, it's interesting, because what I suggested for Intel is what AMD should be doing as well, and I suggested that Intel be able to go through and drop their prices of their cards, get it out in the hands so they could help improve the drivers. Now Intel's dropping the prices way after the fact, and AMD decided to copy Intel. Kind of funny, AMD can't think of an original idea. They either got to copy NVIDIA or Intel how to do their marketing. You got to be kidding me. Um, but here we go. They're introducing the 7600, a $270 card, and they start doing all these 1080p settings. Sure, AMD. Uh, they have a boost frequency. The only reason you might consider this is you want AV1 encoding. But if you're going to do that, like, I couldn't justify buying this card for just AV1 encoding. Like, you have last gen, and if you're willing to go on the used market, you have a lot of options for a much better price. um, yeah, so these are kind of the specs for it. It's 270. I can't believe it. It's not that, astounding. And maybe that's the problem, is that last gen was such a good improvement for both NVIDIA and AMD that they just don't know how to price their cards because they anticipated the same jump and they didn't get it. We'll jump over here for uh, the 4060 and 4060 Ti. So you have a 299 card, then you have the 4060. The 4060 is a 299, 399 is a 4060 Ti 8 gig, and then you'll have a 16 gig. Will these prices stay the same? Probably. It's NVIDIA. But I just, like Gamers Nexus was saying, you have what was it, the 3060 Ti is just seems like an overclock. What do you get, 10%? If you get a good 3060 Ti, you get a good overclock, you're done. Like, that's simple to be able to do and get that performance at a cheaper price. So I don't, these are just, I don't know what they were thinking. It's like they have so much old stock, they need to sell through it. Drop the price of the old stock, it'll sell through. Granted, we are in an economic issue right now, but this is just one of those things, we're just going through, you can see the performance. I didn't really want the performance. So they're comparing to 3060 Ti. Yeah, notice how they have to have DLSS and RT on just to get that performance boost. If you know, you're getting I guess this is probably showing 30%, but even DLSS is only showing you maybe 10% there. Yeah, oh my gosh. They're really trying to push this, and this is their numbers, right? This is NVIDIA's numbers, which I wouldn't take as gospel. I would take it with a very grain of salt and do that and do it that way. But it's disappointing. Let's put it that way. Very disappointing. You have, okay, here it is. So $499 for the 4060 Ti 16 gig. It is incredible. And AMD just decided, hey, 4060, well, you listen to Gamers Nexus and everybody, oh yeah, they changed the price last minute, which means AMD was not confident in it. This card probably should be, in my opinion, I would price it starting at 250 if I was AMD, and then in about 6 months I would drop it to about 220. That's what should happen. It should really, this card should probably be entering and being a $199 card overall, the 40, the 7600. So, this is disappointing, right? You have all these, you have everything that they've been coming out with, and this is what they can do. It's just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's like they don't think about these things, especially AMD. AMD had a market opportunity with what NVIDIA did just days before. AMD should have took a look at that, and they did reduce the price, just not what it was supposed to be. Golden opportunity, lay it on the platter, and let AMD screw it up. Their graphics division has propensity to be able to screw things up, and they do it with such amazingness every time. Like, everyone looking at the market that's looking at graphics cards, like, yeah, AMD has an opportunity this time, and AMD goes, Yeah, we know, and we know we have the opportunity, and we will show you how to screw it up. It's amazing. I don't know if you guys have been noticing that, but AMD has a ability to just do things that you cannot imagine. Now, can they correct this? Yeah, they can, except the issue is, right, NVIDIA has this nomenclature, has their name out there, and everybody just gravitates towards it. Your first impression, AMD, is really screwing you up, and that's the thing that you need to get better at. Now, maybe they'll start taking a look at themselves and realizing that their marketing needs to be cleaned up, and maybe we have to reach out and actually listen to the community a little bit more if we want to be able to get stuff. I'm sure that they think, oh, we can still sell these and it'll still be good and we'll still make money. In the end, if you're just making money and you're getting, and Nvidia keeps taking market share, eventually there won't be a need um, for you. And when competition goes away, then Nvidia will have that stranglehold, and then gamers will be very unpleasant, and they'll be upset at you and Nvidia and Intel, and you're leaving a golden opportunity for Intel. I mean, if it was me, I'd like to be able to compete and crush Intel, and AMD just doesn't have that. It doesn't have the guts to be that saying yes, we want to crush Intel, we want to stop them from entering the market. I think Intel still dabble here and there, but they had an opportunity. And maybe it's the ARC pricing that is kind of doing this. Maybe I have to look at an ARC GPU now. I hear that they're getting better driver-wise, so maybe it's time to just take a look at them and see what they're capable of, because these NVIDIA and AMD, one is just going to be pricing it where they think it's going to be priced, and the other one is just going to screw up their opportunity. So let me know what your thoughts are on this whole mess. I'm looking at used cards still. I got a 6700. It's been acting up a little bit, so I might actually reach out to FSX to see if I can't figure out what's going on with it. But it's a good card. It's just it's for some reason not clocking, boosting the way it should. So with that, it'll be looked at. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Graven and help this channel grow. I hope to get a lot more stuff done here. I got a weekend here to try to clean some stuff up, finish some paint. So hopefully this wall behind you will finally get done. I know it's been years since you've looked at this crappy background of paint, and hopefully that's my goal, is to be able to get that all cleaned up and painted here hopefully over the next week. So there might be one or two videos where it's really bad, but get that all cleaned up and get that get my wife all nice and happy that I finally got the basement all done. So only been a while since I tore it apart, but I appreciate you guys supporting this channel and helping it grow. Let me know your comments on this launch. I really wanted a good launch. I really wanted to get cards back in. I enjoy gaming, and that's something I always like to go back and do. I don't have as much free time to do it as I used to, but this is just, it's getting harder and harder to get enthused about gaming, and I don't know if AMD and Nvidia are trying to destroy the gamers' fortitude of what's going on, but they're doing a damn good job of trying to destroy their spirits of this. So with that, I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel, helping it grow. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and do all the normal YouTube stuff and stuff like that. I do appreciate it. Until next time, God bless.